Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Maddie and today's a fun video. I've planned a lot for it and I think it'll be kind of interesting. I've seen it done with songs to books, but today I'm going to be comparing music lyrics to characters and or character relationships from books. Let's just put it out there right now, there will be spoilers in this video, so I will put timestamps below so you kind of know what books are coming up. Sorry, the disclaimers are just endless on this one. I'm not taking a song's meaning and comparing it to a book with a similar meaning, if that makes sense. I'm taking lyrics, like specifically pulling out lyrics from a song and applying those words to character relationships. For example, the song Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles has one meaning, and most people know what the meaning of that song is. But in this video, I could take a few lyrics from that video and put a completely different meaning to it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing in this video. Hannah and Fox from Hook, Line, and Sinker. The song Are You Mine by Arctic Monkeys has some lyrics that I feel like Hannah and Fox are just this song. Like when I hear this song, I think of Hannah and Fox. I have my laptop down here. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it because I can't remember lyrics, okay? She's a silver lining climbing on my desire, and I go crazy because here isn't where I want to be, and satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself. All I want to ever say is, are you mine? Let's talk about Hannah and Fox, okay? So Fox growing up was sexualized his whole life by older women, by younger women, by women his age. He was always sexualized. So coming into a relationship with Hannah, who is kind of already very like structured in her love life and knows what she wants, Fox does not. And he's very confused and he's always asking questions like, why aren't we together? Why don't you want to be with me? Why aren't we F-U-C-K-ing? Like it was just, he's very persistent on like, why does she just want to be my friend? What is this? What's wrong with her kind of thing. The part in the song when it says satisfaction feels like a distant memory, I feel like the whole time in Hook, Line, and Sinker, you're following Fox and you're just seeing him try to pursue this friendship in a very complicated way because he doesn't know how to just be friends with a woman. So he's not satisfied with their friendship and he feels like, oh, every time I've been satisfied, I've been with another woman, but why am I satisfied with Hannah and we're just friends? And then obviously their relationship blooms into more. Now a quote from Hook, Line, and Sinker that I really liked that kind of paired well with this is, I've never even had you and your body haunts mine. It just kind of goes to show that both Hannah and Fox have this, not obsession with each other, but because they started off as friends, their relationship means so much more to each other because they built that foundation. On both sides and both perspectives of this book, you're watching Hannah be like, is he my friend or is he more? Or does he want to be more? And then you're watching Fox be like, is she only my friend or does she want me for other reasons? It's just this constant battle of like, are you mine or not? Okay, the next one is kind of funny. Like I don't have any quotes relating to this. I probably could find some, but it's specifically Tamlin from A Court of Thorns and Roses, kind of the whole series, mostly in the third book because he's a fucking bitch, but sorry, that was mean. I'm relating this to Harry Styles' song Woman, and honestly, if you think about Tamlin and Feyre's relationship. Obviously in the first book you're led to believe one thing, and then once you get to the second book and you see something so much better and you see the other side and how things could be, you're like blown away. Correct? Correct. At least I was. But you also kind of see Tamlin battling his own emotions towards Feyre and Rhys together because he's like, obviously this should not be happening. Like why are Rhys and Feyre together? Like it just makes no sense to him. And the song Woman, the lyrics, just listen, okay? I'm selfish, I know, but I don't ever want to see you with him. While he's touching your skin, he's right where I should be. While he's touching your skin, this thing upon me howls like a beast. And I loved that because we know Tamlin, Rhys, Feyre, eventually they all have these beast forms or beast forms that they talk about, you know? And so I was like, oh my god, how perfect does that fit with Tamlin? He's pissed at Rhys and Feyre and he's howling like a beast, kind of like Harry Styles in Woman. So, you know, again, that's not really a relationship. I did really like applying that song to Tamlin and Feyre. Kenna and Ledger from Reminders of Him. I'm comparing this to Vancouver Sleep Clinic, Someone to Stay. If you've read this book, you know it's an emotional one. You're taking on this really emotional, morally gray kind of story, and you don't know which side to choose the whole time. Not necessarily that there's definitely two sides, but you don't really want there to be sides. You don't want to choose a side because both sides are in the right and wrong. So it's really difficult. Kenna and Ledger both went through something very traumatic. Kenna with her boyfriend and Ledger with his best friend. And also Kenna has been in prison for the past 5-6 years, and she's been by herself, and we know she's struggling with kind of loneliness. She's just lonely and feels like something obviously was taken away from her, aka her daughter, and she's all alone. And one of the lyrics in Someone to Stay says, "You've been fighting the memory all on your own. You were alone, left in the cold, clinging to the ruin of your broken home." And it's quite literally what she's going through. She has a broken home. She didn't get to raise her daughter like the way she wanted because she was stuck in prison, and her daughter ended up going with her, like, quote unquote in-laws. Scary that she had to do that all alone. But also the situation is like, what are you gonna do? Something tragic happened, and this is where the situation led. So you kind of just have to go with it. Another lyric says, "We all need someone to stay." And I kind of related this to two quotes, like kind of this whole song to two quotes in the book. How many losses can one person take before they just throw in the fucking towel? Oops, should I cuss? I don't care. Because it sure is starting to feel like I'm all out of wins here. And then another quote, and this one I kind of related to the loneliness that this book kind of gives off, and the song is Someone to Stay. Like, you need, like, when you're lonely, when you're feeling down, you definitely need someone there with you and to help you through that tough time. And in the book, one of the quotes is, "I don't know what to do with all these feelings, so I wad them up and try to keep them stuffed in my throat or my stomach or wherever people tuck away this shit." I think that Ledger obviously was that person for Kenna, and he did end up staying, which I think is what she needed. So yeah, this is a great song. The next one is a fun one. So I know Kenna and Ledger's kind of a very scary situation and a sad book, but the next one's kind of fun, okay? Bryce and Hunt from Crescent City. The song is called Horns by Bryce Fox. In Crescent City, there's a very big plot twist that we don't really see coming in the first like 50 pages. And I mean, I did not see it coming, and I love Sarah J. Maas and how she just wants to traumatize you with her books. And spoiler, Danica dies. Danica is Bryce's best friend. And in Horns, it says, "In her heart, there's a hole. There's a black mark on her soul." And I think the hole in Bryce's heart is Danica, because Danica is her best friend, and Danica is brutally murdered. So Bryce kind of has this gaping hole in her heart. So throughout the whole book, you're seeing her struggle with this, as well as meeting the love interest, Hunt. So it's just this very, like, they clash at first, and the song Horns is very, like, powerful, and it pushes this kind of aggressive tone, but it's a very good song, like, and it just keeps you, it gets you kind of hype. Like, it's a good, I like to listen to it on the car on the way to the gym. Like, it's a good hype song, okay? So this next lyric says, "Truth be told, I don't mind, 'cause her hand's my paradise. She can crush every hope, got her heels stomping down my throat." And, you know, I kind of related this to Hunt being like a simp because he has this soft and dramatic side to him, yet he doesn't put up with any of her shit. So there's this really good bicker banter. Like, she's definitely in charge, in my opinion. She wears the pants in this relationship. Hunt is just kind of there and there for her in a really good way. But I think that Bryce would definitely crush every hope that he has, and Hunt would still come back to her. Bryce, like, literally as foreplay for sex, she would stomp on his throat and Hunt would be really into it. Like, that's what I just pictured when I hear the song. So yeah, okay. So this is actually a recent read that I just read. It's a Kindle Unlimited book called Psycho Shifters. I think it's Psycho Shifters, Psycho Fae, and Psycho Beast, and it's a trilogy. I think there's a fourth book, like a spinoff in a different character's perspective. It is a reverse harem trope scenario thing going on. So there's 4 men and Sadie. Sadie is the funniest heroine you will ever read in a book. She cracked me up every chapter. I'm relating to the song Baby Outlaw by Elle King, and honestly, just listen, okay? Sadie, if you've read this book, Sadie is just this ball of fire, and she is absolutely insane. She's unwell. She does not give a fuck about anything, anyone, or herself. She is just no rules, does whatever she wants, and I love it. She's so unhinged, and it's amazing. So in the song Baby Outlaw, it says, "Pity the man that stands in my way." That's quite literally because there are 4 men that stand in her way, and Sadie does not give a shit. She does not care that there are 4 men who claim to own her. It's very possessive, and they claim to own her, and Sadie literally says, no you don't, no you don't. So she takes pity on them 1000%, and I love it. And one of the other lyrics in Baby Outlaw is, "Even though you got a gun to my head, you will be the one that ends up dead." And that's very true. I feel like every scenario in this book that Sadie gets herself in, you're like, there's no way she's living. There's no way she can survive this. And then somehow she does. Like, quite literally, a gun could be put to her head and she's like, I'm gonna figure it out. And she figures it out. This song, Baby Outlaw, is Sadie. Like, that song is Sadie. So, okay, we're kind of shifting tone here. We're going back to a darker scenario, a darker book called Waking Olivia. We're gonna have Olivia and Will. I think his name is Will, so that's what I'm gonna say. If it's something else, I'm sorry, but I loved this book. I just read it recently, and this I'm relating to the song Just Asking by Aquilo. So if you don't know the plot of Waking Olivia, Olivia has night terrors, but specifically she runs in her sleep. I know it sounds a little silly, but once you get into the book and kind of understand everything, you kind of get it. She's a track star, whatever. Okay. She runs in her sleep. Will finds out. Will is her coach on the track team. Let's go over some lyrics. Okay. I'm asking you to stay between all these whispers that won't go away. I'm comparing whispers to her dreams and to her memories, and all of these horrible traumatic memories that she has are these whispers, and she ends up just really wanting Will to kind of be there for her so she can succeed in her track career, and she's asking him to stay with her during these night terrors. Because of kind of Olivia's traumatic past, she has some anger issues. She's got some anger management that you kind of see slowly decrease through the book. So the character development is wonderful. She starts out as a very angry character and an angry person because of all of this pent up trauma that she's never talked to anyone about. And then you slowly see her soften into this very, very sweet girl. And one of the lyrics in Just Asking says, I won't be tempted by people that lead me astray. Because she has these aggressive tendencies, there are some characters in the book that purposely like poke at her to get her in trouble. And I think that this lyric just kind of points out that like because Will is by her side, she's not gonna let other people tempt her or not gonna let other people bother her because he's kind of supporting her. Okay, this one, I've got a lot of quotes on this one. Okay, a lyric in the song says, do I settle down or shut you out for good? I just kind of compared it to the book because he's her coach, so it's kind of this forbidden romance in like this student versus coach. Even though the age difference isn't that big, I think it's like 3 years, there is this forbidden aspect, so it's like, does she settle down or does she shut him out? And this kind of goes both ways for Will too, because Will was definitely battling this, like, do I settle down with her or do I completely give up everything and lose my job? And another quote in another lyric says, I'm just asking you to wait between all the secrets that won't go away. Again, kind of comparing her dreams to these secrets and all of these memories that she hasn't told anyone about. And the last lyric, do we fall in love and fuck it up for good? That's the whole book. Literally, that is the whole book, because Will and Olivia are both like, I really like him or I really like her. Do we just say fuck it and like give up our career and our job and our track star dream? And it's great. It's great. That book though, for real, pick up that book. And the song is wonderful. Okay. This one, I didn't really love Dance of Thieves, okay? So I'm not gonna go too far into this one, but I did kind of like Kazi and Jace. I thought that their relationship was okay. The book just kind of bothered me. The song is called Power by Isak Danielson. Kind of like Hunt from Crescent City, Jace is kind of a simp for Kazi, but they're always freaking arguing. There's always miscommunication, and it's really, really frustrating. One of the lyrics in this song says, "If I hear my name, I will run your way." One of them says, "Why won't you set me free? You got power over me." And I feel like the whole book, Jace is kind of following Kazi, like, oh my god, I like her a lot. I like her a lot, but she keeps pushing him away, and it's this back and forth. And Kazi for sure has this power over Jace that he does not like. He does not want her to have power over him, but she does. And it's this constant tension between them because you're like, do you like each other or do you not? Do you like each other? Do you not? And it's this power struggle between them. And I really, really thought this song kind of embodied their relationship. One of the lyrics specifically says, "All you did was confuse me." And by the end of this book, if you've read Dance of Thieves, I definitely think Kazi and Jace are pretty damn confused with each other. But one of the quotes, let's see. It says, "I want you, every part of you, even the parts that infuriate me beyond telling, because you've infected me with a poison that I don't want to flush out, because you're a mad viper twisting around my middle, cutting off my breath." Is that not a power, like, chokehold over each other? 1000%. Only 3 more, okay? This video is gonna be kind of long, I think, but anyway. Poppy and Castile from Blood and Ash. Wait, from Blood and Ash. From Blood and... Poppy and Castile from Blood and Ash. No, wait, I just said that weird. From Poppy? No. God damn it. Okay. Poppy and Castile from Blood and Ash. Thank God. Okay. Golden Eyes by Hanni. Now this one, I mean, Castile, literally any fan art. I know I can find fan art on Castile. He literally has golden eyes, okay? So the song is quite literally taken, in my opinion, where the lyrics say, "I want your golden eyes. The sun came up, but feeling darker." Their world is really dark. Even when the sun is up, there's something dark going on. There's something traumatizing about to happen, so yeah. And another lyric says, "Never knowing what we mean, so you handle all hate with time and ties and faith." Castile and Poppy are kind of conflicted once they find out who each other are. Kind of conflicted with their own faith. Poppy specifically, the faith in her world that she grew up in, and they shouldn't be together, but they are together and they love each other, and yeah, so great lyric, great song. Okay, staying on the Jennifer Armentrout train right now. Sera and Nyktos, War of Hearts by Ruelle. This one, this is such a good song. Go listen to it. "Come to me in the night hours. I'll wait for you, and I can't sleep because thoughts devour, thoughts of you consume." The first line says, "Come to me in the night hours," and quite literally meet at a lake in the night hours, like 2 times, I'm pretty sure. So, and Sera calls it her lake, but I'm pretty sure it's just a lake in her realm that she kind of like claimed. Yeah, so they meet there literally in the night. "I can't help but love you even though I try not to." The whole story is a forbidden love romance. Like, Sera is supposed to kill Nyktos, and Nyktos shouldn't be loving this girl. The last song that I'm going to compare it to, this one actually might upset some people that I'm even comparing this book to a song, but I recently read My Dark Vanessa, and this book was sad, gross, icky. Like, I mean, it was okay. When I read A Little Life, it was so messed up that I didn't want to rate it 1 star because of how beautifully written it was. So I just didn't rate it at all. And that's how My Dark Vanessa was. I couldn't rate it. I loved the writing style. I actually really did like Vanessa as a character, but the story itself was so messed up that I feel like rating it was almost kind of like rating those situations in general. And if you don't know, My Dark Vanessa is about a 15-year-old who believes she's in a relationship with her 40-some-year-old teacher. And it's a grooming situation. It's really upsetting and gross. Please look up trigger warnings on that one. I want to say, again, as the last song, I'm taking the lyrics out of the song. It has a completely different meaning, okay? And I know it's weird to compare this song, okay? But the song is called Dancing with Your Ghost by Sasha Alex Sloan. Is how do I love again? How do I trust again? And tell myself I'm all right. And through My Dark Vanessa, you're seeing Vanessa go through this struggle of being out of this really, really gross scenario. She's kind of a grown-up now. You're seeing her really traumatized and going to therapy, but she doesn't think she's traumatized. She thinks that the situation was okay. She believes that what they had was love, and she doesn't see the side that she was groomed into loving him. Through the book, you're watching her kind of struggle with, this is love, right? And how should I love? How am I supposed to love again? Who do I trust? And you're watching her kind of battle with this. Another lyric, I gotta move on, but it hurts to try. Vanessa is stuck in this perpetual loop of wanting to leave him behind, but not knowing how to leave him behind, but also thinking that what they had was true love, so she doesn't want to forget about him. It's this constant loop that you see in Vanessa's head. You can tell that she wants to move on from this situation, but it's hurting her so bad because what she thought was true, if someone points out that it was bad or it was gross, then she feels like she's in the wrong. So she's hurt and she doesn't want to move on, but she's trying, and it was a brutal book. It was brutal. But that is it for this video. So I know we ended on kind of a gruesome note, but if you have any songs that you like that kind of remind you of books or kind of remind you of reading in general, please let me know. I do love listening to music. I said that I'm not a music junkie, but I love listening to music. I put it on when I can. Give me some music suggestions. I will see you in the next video. And comment down below if you agree with any of the comparisons that I made.